Now, among those freed, Guy Reffitt. He's a militia member from Texas who was the first of the January 6 defendants to be convicted. Take a look. You see him in the black jacket, wearing body armor and a helmet, in a standoff with officers on the steps of the Capitol. Reffitt was carrying a loaded handgun, and he told people he wanted to physically drag Nancy Pelosi from the building. When he went home, he threatened his own children not to turn him in. But his son Jackson did anyway, and now he faces the reality that his father is free. Jackson Reffitt joins me now. Jackson, thank you so much for being here. I know this is not easy for you. And I know you previously said that Trump pardoning your dad terrified you. So I wonder what the last day and a half has been like for you.
Well, it's gotten worse. I mean, he's physically out now, and that is a reality that I haven't really faced yet. I thought I had time to work with it and understand it and work with him at some point, but I don't have that time anymore. And the only thing I can do right now is sit around after a couple months of prepping and being safe and distancing myself and moving and buy a handgun and a rifle. I mean, that's the only thing I can do besides talk about it right now and try to surround myself with good, healthy people and I guess just spectate what happens now. I have nothing else to do other than just to sit here and be paranoid and imagine what could happen.
What worries you the most? Because the idea that you've already moved, that you felt the need to buy a handgun, tells us a lot about how afraid you are.
Yeah, it's on my waist 24/7 now. I have to make these calls early. I bought the handgun November 25th, right before midnight, and I just can't. I can't imagine being safe right now. It goes far beyond my dad. There are people out there that I get death threats by the minute now. I mean, people feel so validated right now with President Trump stepping into office and saying and doing all this and defending all these horrible actions. I mean, I saw a photo of my father today sitting next to the leader of the Oath Keepers, and the final hearing, his final testimony, I remember him saying that he was not going to be involved in this anymore. And as ignorant as I was then to actually believe that, I'm so heartbroken right now to see imagery like that and to see him continue down this path. And I think that goes for everyone pardoned. These people are willing to do this even though Trump never knew they existed. And now they feel his presence, and Trump has reached his hand out and helped these people out. And the validation, it can be deadly for others.
Do you know anything about where your dad is? Has he ever throughout this tried to contact you?
We've tried to contact each other. It's been very hard. He bounces around, and it's been hard for me to find the courage to reach out. I've seen him get further radicalized in prison throughout these years, and there had been a point whenever I figured that he had gotten better. And that is not the case. He has continued to reach out to these far-right militias, and he's continued to participate in it and downplay and justify his actions and not face accountability. I want the best for my dad. I advocated for mental health help in prison, and he denied it, from what I heard. He absolutely denied it, and that was heartbreaking to hear. All he needed was some therapy and some people to talk to that aren't just going to validate him, because that's what happened on January 6th. That's what led him up those stairs, was validation. And he's going to get more of that than ever.
When you were growing up, Jackson, was he a dad much like any other dad? Because I think a lot of people have a question about, how do you get to this place? How do you get to the place where you're willing to go to the Capitol and you're willing to go to prison?
I think he was an amazing father growing up. He gave me so many opportunities, and he raised me to be the man I am right now. The only thing I can imagine that led him up those stairs was, being scared. I mean, we live in a rough capitalist country that atomizes people And whenever you find that community and that calling to save your family that you think is to save your family, and you're just being used by some guy who never knew you existed until he, saw you get in charge with nearly 8 years. I understand why my dad did it. He wanted to protect his family, but that led him astray, and it was so hard to see him take that decision. I informed authorities prior, but he took every action afterwards that led him to where he is now, and he's going to keep taking those decisions. He's not stopped, and that's what makes me so upset and scared.
Well, Jackson, I think it's incredibly brave of you to come on and speak your truth and take the time with us. And we wish you safety and we wish you peace. And perhaps sometime in the near future, we can check in and see how you're doing. Thanks for being with us. We do appreciate it. And we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the dialogue. Thank you.